Okay, so we're here with our 2002 Pontiac Grand Prix, naturally aspirated 3.8 liter. We have a check engine light. I already looked at what it is, but we're going to go ahead and go through the process anyway. So I've got my code reader here, and we're going to put it in the diagnostic plug underneath the dash, and I'll show you where that is. Okay, so here's our connector. You see it's happy side up, or the wide side up, and the connector lives right here. See that? So it plugs in. Now, our reader, this is actually a nicer one. You can get these on eBay for about 20 bucks, but buyer beware. The stuff from China, I've seen them work, I've seen them not work. I bought one off eBay, it didn't work, so the guy gave me back my money. But anyway, point being is that it'll power up, but you actually need to turn the car on. So we're just going to turn it on. And we want it to read codes. So we're going to hit enter. Linking, reading, and here we go. It's a P0107, which essentially is and as it says here on this tool, because it's a little bit nicer one, it's the Manifold Air Pressure sensor, and it's indicating that the computer gives it 5 volts, it's not getting anything out, it's too low. So we have something wrong with the map sensor. So here's our dirty engine compartment, and I believe our manifold air pressure sensor is here. Here's the plug for it. But what I'm going to do is take this top off anyway. It's really easy. In fact, I probably would prefer it off anyway, but you actually undo the oil cap. Notice it comes out, or actually the oil fill tube, and that pretty much is what holds this cover on. And then it just kind of has a ring in the back it holds onto. Put the oil thing back in. And for those of you that are subscribers, yes, this is the Grand Prix. I'm going to be changing the oil pan in, and yes, I haven't done it yet, but I do have the part, so we'll get to that video before it gets too cold. But we'll come back over here. Here's our manifold air pressure sensor. And in theory, one of these is getting 5 volts when the car is on, and it's not getting the 5 volts, or it's not reporting back, it's getting any voltage to the computer. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to pull the connector first, turn the car on, and see if there's actually 5 volts coming to the sensor. Here's our sensor. I turned the car on. Now when we cleared the code, it said there was 1 code remaining. That's because it's this code. It will always reset while the car is on if it's not getting the right voltage. So I'm going to lift up and pull the thing out. I've got 3. One of these should be 5 volts DC. So I'm going to take my voltmeter. I don't know which one, but I'll poke around enough till I get it. Just put it on a basic engine ground. You should be able to find a sensor that says, and this is the gray wire showing that it is getting 5 volts. No voltage here, no voltage here. So we are getting 5 volts to the sensor. So next we're going to take apart, or at least take out the sensor. Before going too much farther, we did confirm we have 5 volts with the car on coming to the 5 volt supply. I can't check the signal line because it's listening. So there's no voltage down it, and I can't really ohm it out because there's the computer's looking for signal, so I don't want to hurt anything there. But I can check the ground, convert my multimeter over to an ohmmeter, ground out on the block. I can ground the ground, and I should be able to hear if I connect it right. That beep means it is a closed connection, and I'm showing N ohm of resistance, so that means my ground is grounding. So with no real means to measure the output, I'm going to have to assume that of these 3 wires they're all good, and it is my sensor that's bad. I've never taken one off before. Honestly, it doesn't look that hard. If I pull these back, it'll look like it might come right out. Sure it will. And run to the engine. Okay. So here you have the sensor that's not working. Doesn't smell bad. It smells a little gassy, but what I'm going to go is inside. I'm going to take a little bit of alcohol. I'm going to clean these contacts, make sure they work, and then we're going to try it again. If it doesn't work with it out, then it's probably a bad sensor, and we're just going to replace it. With the sensor cleaned, And we've proven that we have voltage to the sensor, so we don't have a cut in the harness or anything along those lines. We pretty much just brought it down to it's probably the sensor failure. So I can't tell if the engine codes are on, so I'm going to go ahead and use my scan tool again. The car is on. I'm going to have it go ahead and see if there are codes. It's getting data from the vehicle, and it still has a low circuit. If I erase the code, codes to erase, 2 codes, yes. They should clear. If there's no code, if there is still a code, then it'll still be there and we need to replace the sensor. It says 1 code remains. So I'm going to presume that that is our sensor, so our sensor's dead. So my next video will be how to install one of these sensors, which looks pretty brain dead, but I'll go source one out and find the cheapest one I can get. We'll put it in here.